Welcome back to Celebrio, where we break down the stories the industry hopes stay buried. Now let's get into this. When Jaguar Wright started talking about the new Diddy documentary, she made one thing clear right away.
He said people keep pretending like all of the stuff that they hear about Diddy is something that's new. He's been doing these things. He's a witness to offenses that happened over 30 years ago.
Almost none of it surprised her. She's been watching the situation unfold for years from behind the scenes. But one moment stood out and caught even her off guard.
It was kind of interesting. They said he didn't smoke and he didn't drink, but throughout all the Biggie's promo, every time you saw him, he had a bottle of champagne. They was drinking Moet all of the time. You know, so I guess they don't consider cases of champagne and everybody having their own bottle and drinking out of their own bottle like it was a 40 ounce. I guess they don't consider that drinking, but I mean, I digress.
There was a part where he was going back and forth with Andre Harrell, and he was saying, "I'm gonna be drunk and high by Wednesday." I don't know. So I'm like, it seemed like the ship happened quickly when it comes to being introduced into this thing, into this industry. So he's technically he might be.
Kirk Burroughs publicly saying he was abused by Diddy. That revelation hit hard. Even Gene Deal, who has openly spoken about witnessing Diddy at his worst, admitted he was shocked by what Kirk revealed.
I believe that he was victimized, and I think it happened long before the industry. You know, people really don't want to look closer into his childhood and to what his mama had going on in that house. God knows what he saw and what happened to him in his own mama house. All of those strangers, them up involved, looking around, seeing what was going on. And let's just be clear, it sounds like her house was a house of, professional freak-offs. So who knows what he saw or what could have happened to him while she was busy entertaining people and pouring and getting tips, as she would say, for her after-hour life.
Oh yeah. He was. I'm gonna say he was surprised to hear that.
School bus driver. No, was he surprised or was he like, "Zip it, you talking too much"? Because that's what it looked like to me. It looked like you talking a little bit too much. They don't need to know about that. While she was sitting up there, oh, because I was a bus driver and I was this, and I worked at the after hours. And I would pour them drinks and they would give me big tips.
She did say it just like that. Big tips.
Big tip and spending cheese.
Damn. In Sean's own words, in Diddy's own words, he had said he had a sigh of relief learning that he was the son of a hustler or a gangster. Like he wanted that status. He wanted to say that he was a sigh of relief is a wild thing to say, that your daddy was a gangster or a hustler, that's what you heard that he was.
Well, I mean, like Tim said, they had a bunch of blaxploitation movies being played around the house all the time. They grew up with the Mac playing. They grew up with Superfly playing. Like, I mean, if that's what you got going on, you got two women in the house and there's no men around, and these are what the little boys are watching. You got basketball players coming over late at night. You got hustlers coming over, PIMPs coming over, women who look like they were modeling for Jet Magazine coming over. Like, it sounds like the nature of the environment is what shaped their perception of what cool was. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure for him it was, oh man, that's who my...
And that's what makes this moment so heavy. Kirk isn't speaking from the outside. He was close to Diddy during the earliest, most formative years. He saw things before fame, before power fully took over.
Sean, you had an issue with the way Diddy was treating him, right?
I just think Puff, he needs to be a stand-up man. That dude sat up there and did that time for you or nothing like that. Then you got this man living down there in police, living all fucking bad, man. You seem like you just leave your people for dead, man. Shit wrong, dude. Gene Deal complaining about you. I'm complaining about you. You ain't. I heard one of my homies from 30s. I heard he get every quarter he get clothes, all this shit. Then you gave this other dude a brand new Benzo or Maybach, another piece of the record company. God damn, homie. I was on top of the world till I met your motherfucker ass, dude. Shit is wrong, dude. Come on, homie. I need something. Throw a dog a bone or something. Sit up there talking about you, daddy love. Show us some love. Man, you know what I'm saying? There's ways around that, homie. Throw my kids something. Throw somebody kids something. God damn. Daddy love. You ain't no love. That ain't love at all. That's some bull. That ain't cool, dude. You know what I'm saying? Swear, man. Gene Jill, Sean, Keefy D, just everybody, man. God damn. You just leave bad tastes in everybody's mouth, man. Come on, homie. Damn. You forgot where you come from. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm like some grass and shit. You know I was in jail. Nigga ain't throw a nigga a noodle. What you call that shit? You put the hot water on, man. God damn. Yeah. Life ain't been the same, bro. Man, shit, I was getting 300 kilos a month, man. Balling, man. Didn't nobody know about me. My shit was smooth, dude. My shit was laid out smooth, man. I met your motherfucker and all the heat and thunder coming around with your motherfucker.
To Jaguar, Kirk isn't introducing something new. He's confirming what's been whispered behind closed doors for decades. Jaguar also pointed out some major pieces that were either glossed over or left out entirely.
That that they have this footage and however they got it. The fact that it exists is like, Diddy, why would you even start recording this? Like, why would you even give us this leverage to even put this thing out? Please give us your take. Well, I wouldn't call it leverage, but go ahead.
Well, the whole point of him filming this whole thing was because I'm sure that he planned on doing his own documentary. This is an extreme narcissist you're talking about. Extreme. He's sitting there with feds, an eye shot away from his hotel suite, filming his hotel room. And he's looking at them and he's filming them right back. He's literally saying in certain parts, yeah. Make sure you're filming all of this because we need to get some, some cutaway shots.
That's wild. That's wild.
No, he was literally, did nobody pay attention to that?
Oh, I saw it.
Like he said, yeah. Make sure you're filming all of this. We need this for cutaways. Like you're sitting here collecting footage, like a director, like an AD.
Especially when it came to Diddy's childhood and how carefully he crafted his image early on. She believes a lot of his clean origin story was manufactured to make him look polished and untouchable.
But when you've got a lawyer like Mark Agnifilo, who is orchestrating your possible surrender, because as you heard him say in the beginning of the documentary, he was very clear. It's almost the middle of September and there's no indictment. As you heard Diddy say, I've been an exemplary client like you've asked. You said I've been an excellent client. I came here. I did everything you asked me to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're literally having this conversation.
Yeah, in that conversation, Diddy was worried about the outlook of the public versus the victims.
The outlook of the public. Oh, he was worried a lot more than that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think? He literally sat there and said, we need comms. He's sitting there talking like an evil dictator. We need comms. We need a way into this conversation. We're losing, he said. We're losing. Losing what?
Come on.
What were you losing? But the key words that he said that were so important were, we need to be able to be speaking to the potential jurors.
She also said she's always believed Diddy was a victim at some point in his life, possibly during childhood, shaped by neglect, chaos, and the deeply troubled lifestyles of his parents.
You might only be the guy that watches CNN, but there's 9 billion people in the world, and 7 billion of them are on Instagram or TikTok. We need to have control of that. He said we need to know how these potential jurors are thinking.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he said.
Facts.
So what does that mean? He hadn't even been arrested yet. He hadn't even been taken into custody yet. Damian Williams hadn't come forward yet with a list of the charges that they were charging him with and what they were taking him to trial for. That didn't happen until December.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, they were losing. Losing what? Losing at what? We need we need to have control of comms. We need to make sure that we know how the potential jurors are thinking.
Very true.
How does that not sound like anything other than what it is?
Mm-hmm.
They were looking to infect the jury pool as early as possible. They were hoping to infect the jury pool, to know, to see a lawyer sitting on the phone, having a conversation with a man who was about to be charged with some of the most heinous acts known in recent history.
According to Jaguar, that context matters, not as an excuse, but as an explanation. Diddy's father, the man he idolized, was a hustler who became an informant and was killed violently.
He wasn't mentioned at all in any of this documentary.
Not at
He
all.
was there for so much of it. Because right after the diddler beat the crap out of Steve Stout, the Jigga Man poked up on Rivera. Not long after that. All of this stuff happened around the same time.
Why do you think Jay-Z wasn't involved in none of this?
Well, I mean, he was involved in a lot of it. You mean, why wasn't he mentioned?
Yeah, mentioned in the documentary at all.
I mean, there was a lot of people that weren't mentioned. Matter of fact, not too many people in the industry were mentioned who were there and present. Isn't that cute?
Very true.
They found a way to tell that story while they kept everybody else calm.
Jaguar says growing up with that kind of legacy, mixed with street culture, movies, and the obsession with power, helped form someone who truly believed the rules didn't apply to him. And that mindset, she says, is written all over the documentary, even in moments most viewers completely overlooked.
Business in his mother's name, and the U.S. attorneys trying to go after a RICO that he used his business as an enterprise to do these sexual deviant things.
Yeah.
Technically, if he's just getting, let's say, small payments from his mom, he's not technically using the business. Do you think that they barked up the wrong tree to even lose this trial based on him saying that, hey, I'm not even the owner of Bad Boy. I'm just let's say, an employee who just gets payments to do little small things. Shouldn't they have like realized that or like noticed like, all right, we can't trace the money back to the owner of Bad Boy?
Well, see, that's the thing. That was for Kurt Burrow's case. What about now? Because Combs Enterprise, all of it is not owned by Janice Combs. His name is on stuff. A lot of stuff. Like a lot of these things that happen, it's not like back then it was Bad Boy, Combs Enterprise. There's a bunch of different stuff that falls up underneath that umbrella. And it ain't all in Janice's, it's not all in Janice's name. It's not. Good portion of it is, but not all. Like people have to be weary about anybody who goes through this much trouble to evade responsibility and financial liability. Because even if it's not all in his name, even if it isn't all him, even if it were all in his mother's name, then that would mean that his mother is the one that's running the criminal organization, and she's been aiding and abetting his very sick behavior for decades.
Hey.
It sounds like they should have made sure that she was added to everything.
Hey.
That's the case. Because if he's just an employee and he's just being paid for his services, then that means that all of this stuff was going on up underneath her nose, and there's no way she didn't know about it. She was involved and present for too much of it.
Diddy was trying to shape the minds of potential jurors long before he was ever arrested. Jaguar says that's why one of the strangest parts of the documentary matters so much. Diddy was recording everything. From the moment federal agents showed up near his hotel room, he wasn't hiding or panicking. He was filming them. To Jaguar, that wasn't accidental at all. She says it was classic Diddy behavior, the mindset of someone who believes he can control every narrative.
He said it, I'ma drug them out and pimp them out to my niggas. They keep fucking with me. And he was talking about Danity Kane as a group. He didn't single out any one of them. But to hear that he did it, that shit is crazy to me. We had a big argument and we started talking about each other and what niggas had and what he didn't have. He was calling me, yo, you broke cop. This like, nigga, you ain't got nothing I ain't got. I got a watch, you got a watch. I got a ring, you got a ring, I got a chain, I got a home. We went through that whole shit like that. I start talking about his teeth. You understand? I start talking about, him, his breath, everything. We was going at each other. That next day at his house, he said, yo, Gene, he called me upstairs. And he said, yo, Gene, I couldn't talk to him like that no more in front of people and everything like that. Because I know me and Puff go back from the same game since 89, 90 when he got jumped in it. You understand? We go back way to that time. So I knew him. You understand? He was like a little nephew. So when he started talking that shit to me, I said, yo, listen here, bro. You don't say shit about me, I won't say shit about you. If you say something, you open up your mouth about me, I'm going to talk about all your green dentures and all that shit like that. We're not playing them games, bro. Monty, do you understand what I'm saying? I heard him say that he was going to drug them out and pimp them out to his niggas. And then to hear the text message that she was drugged out and he was having sex, that shit hurts, bro. That shit is fucked up. Do you know how fucked up that is, bro? I heard this nigga say this shit out of his mouth. But to know that he was doing it, that shit was crazy to me. It makes you feel sick, bro, because I guess I wasn't looking for it. But to see her pain and to see that she had to experience some shit like that, bro, and then the nigga was doing a lot of that shit right under your nose when the days that you wasn't working or the days that you left early or you wasn't around, this shit is crazy, bro. It's crazy, bro, because he know I wasn't that type of dude. You understand? And he tries everybody. He tries everybody. I'm not saying he never tried me. He tried me.
In her view, he fully intended to create his own documentary, positioning himself as the victim, or even the hero, before the public ever heard the full story. What disturbed her most wasn't just the filming, but the things Diddy and his lawyers were saying on camera, as if they were already preparing a defense for the court of public opinion.
Telling the world now. He telling the world now he was forced to do this.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out why he didn't come out sooner. He also alleging that Diddy, forced him to give him jobs.
Oh my God. So you telling me that in the lawsuit, and I seen it, man, that he forced him to sing in the mic. And it wasn't in the studio.
Yeah, that's what he claiming.
Yo, bro, it's crazy. It's real crazy that Kirk is alleging all these things that people always said back then. I remember when me and you had a conversation about this years ago, and you asked me, was I going to talk about it? I said, no, I'm not going to talk about it because I'm going to let him talk about it. I didn't know he was going to do this lawsuit and put this shit in there. But I told you years ago that I'm not going to talk about it until he talks about it.
Jaguar warns how dangerous that is. When someone with that much money and influence starts shaping perception before a trial even exists, justice becomes nearly impossible.
That Kirk Burrow was saying at the end of episode 4 when he first, dropped the bomb, that he had been essayed by Diddy. It's Kirk Burrows, who has been there since the beginning.
She said victims can't go to the boss because the boss might be the abuser. They can't trust police if power and money are involved. Even prosecutors can be reassigned overnight.
I didn't think nothing of it, that he was spending the night with Kirk Burrows either every Wednesday night. He got a whole girl at home, but he's spending the night with Kirk Burrows. He's staying at Kirk house. Like, yo, all right, cool. Didn't think nothing of it. And then Kirk had made a mention to some people over the years that him and Puff used to wake up and pray together. And I'm in my mind, I know he's talking about saying prayers and all that shit like that. But in my other mind, I'm thinking you waking up with a dude praying? Shit is going on. Then there was a situation that somebody said long time ago in the office. They caught Kirk giving Puff a in the office.
Meanwhile, the powerful move freely behind the scenes. She also drew a chilling comparison, pointing out how the chaos Diddy caused during the 1991 college basketball stampede mirrors what later happened at Travis Scott's Astro World. Different events, same reckless disregard for human life, and in both cases, she says, accountability came far too late. She warned that people should be extremely cautious around anyone who works this hard to dodge responsibility and financial liability. Gene Deal has echoed that sentiment before, repeatedly speaking about the City College tragedy and how disturbing it was. In his recollection, what stands out most isn't just the chaos itself, but the cold, almost apathetic attitude he says Diddy and those closest to him showed toward the people who were seriously hurt or dying as a result of it. Jaguar pointed out that, in the end, no one truly faced lasting consequences for that incident. According to her, Diddy moved quickly to protect his money, allegedly placing bad boy assets in his mother's name to make them harder to seize. She claims it was a calculated move, designed to shield the empire from future lawsuits long before anyone realized how serious the fallout could become. She then widened the lens, bringing the government into the conversation. Jaguar compared the situation to Al Capone, saying authorities sometimes know exactly who's dirty, but avoid charging everything head-on because it could expose deeper corruption. Instead, they go after what sticks. In her view, that's how massive stories get quietly cleaned up to protect powerful interests. And she didn't stop there. Naming Jay-Z and Clive Davis as major figures she claims were closely connected to Diddy's rise and aware of how that empire really operated. Yet none of those names were mentioned in the documentary, and that omission alone raised eyebrows. Jaguar questioned why figures like Jay-Z and Clive Davis, who were deeply embedded in the same industry circles, were completely absent from the narrative. To her, that silence felt intentional, not accidental. She also pointed out how the documentary barely scratched the surface of major historical moments, especially the real origins of the East Coast versus West Coast beef. According to Jaguar, it was never about entire regions. It was about Diddy and Suge Knight, two powerful men fighting for control, with artists and entire coasts caught in the crossfire. She believes that truth was softened to avoid reopening wounds that could implicate too many influential people. Then she brought up what the documentary avoided altogether: Diddy's alleged ties to street organizations like the Crips and Bloods, and the deeper context surrounding Tupac's murder. And just as those conversations resurfaced, a stunning development dropped. Keith D, long named as a central figure in Tupac's killing, publicly called on Diddy to support him, claiming he helped Diddy get Pac out of the way. That single statement alone sent shockwaves through the internet, reopening questions many thought were buried forever. Jaguar also highlighted revelations that slipped under the radar, especially the allegations involving Aubrey O'Day. Her comments in the documentary were explosive, but Gene Deal's reaction made them hit even harder. He didn't sugarcoat it. He said hearing people finally speak on what they experienced made him physically sick, because it lined up with things he'd witnessed years ago, but couldn't fully expose at the time. And that's where this story lands. The allegations surrounding Diddy aren't just messy celebrity drama. If even a portion of them are true, they point to behavior that's disturbing, predatory, and inexcusable on a basic human level. To many, this doesn't look like a fall from grace. It looks like the collapse of a carefully protected image that lasted far too long. So now it's on you. Do you think the documentary told the full truth, or did it deliberately leave out names and details to protect powerful people? Is this really the end of Diddy as the world knew him, or are there still bigger revelations coming? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this conversation is far from over. If this breakdown gave you a new perspective, hit that like button, share this video with someone who's been following this case, and make sure you subscribe to Celebrial so you don't miss what comes next. We're digging deeper every time. See you in the next one.